Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back here on the channel, and I'm back here to talk about some NBA. We're talking about the news, so let's get right into it. So, during the Lakers game last night, Dillon Brooks was talking about, after the game, said, basically Dillon Brooks and how he can take LeBron James. He said, quote, he doesn't want to go left. I'll give credit. He played him better than most, but at the same time, they double-teamed him a lot last night. I just can't stand this team. I'm glad they're humbled. The Memphis Grizzlies are just one of the most cockiest teams, one of the easiest teams to hate in the NBA. They're so cocky between Ja Morant, Dillon Brooks, that whole team. Well, Steven Adams is cool. I like Steven Adams, but LeBron is left-handed, and Bron actually produces very, very, very well going left. Even the GOAT, great Kobe Bryant, agreed. And he had help. 3 other defenders would come crashing at Bron when he'd get past them. And Bro thinks he's contained LeBron James. He was triple teamed every time he touched the ball. Even a blind person can see that. Grizzlies, they're becoming the new Phoenix Suns. And LeBron's about to break the all-time scoring record, and Dillon Brooks thinks he just can't go left. Like, but Dillon Brooks thinks he's that guy. You're not that good, Dillon Brooks. You're not an elite player. You're not a good player. You're just a mid player. And that's just the truth. And he still had 23 points and 9 rebounds. It wasn't the most efficient, but yeah, he still had 23, 6, and 9. So there was a confrontation last night between Shaedon Sharpe and Ja Morant, Steven Adams, Ja Morant's dad, a lot of people from Memphis involved. So Shaedon Sharpe gave his side of the altercation. He said it started with Ja Morant's dad, because he told Dillon Brooks he was too small to guard LeBron. Shaedon Sharpe said they didn't want this smoke. They do all that talking and jockeying, and it ain't about that jockeying. He basically said it started with Dillon Brooks. He said he was too. I said he was too small to guard LeBron. He said, F you, and I said F you back. He started to come at me and said, you don't want these problems. And Jockey and I were talking. He definitely didn't want these problems. Then the dad came in. He obviously didn't want no problems. But I wanted everything they had, anything they had. Don't let these fools fool you now. That was the statement from Mr. Sharpe. And Uncle Sharpe owns the whole Grizzlies team. FS1's probably about to have record numbers on Undisputed. T. Morant is just so cringe. He's like a Walmart LeVar Ball. At least LeVar Ball actually helped his kids. T. Morant just leached onto Ja Morant. Because you've known LeVar Ball for a while. Even when his kids were getting up to the NBA. T. Morant is a thug. He's a thug. Shaedon Sharpe would destroy these dudes in a fight. T. Morant's just a Walmart LeVar Ball. He's just so cringe. The Grizzlies are a bunch of gangbangers. Like Ja Morant, T. Morant, don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke with Steven Adams, though, Mr. Sharpe. Kyrie Irving last night had 48 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. Unreal performance from Mr. Kyrie. Nearly 50-point double-double after having a few rough games. So great game from Kyrie last night. Top-selling jerseys in the NBA. Number 1, Steph Curry has the best-selling jersey in the NBA. Number 2, LeBron James. Number 3, Giannis. Number 4, Luka. Kevin Durant at 5. Jason Tatum at 6. Ja Morant at 6. Jason Tatum at 7. Devin Booker at 8. Joel Embiid at 9. Damian Lillard at 10. Trae Young at 11. LaMelo Ball at 12. Anthony Davis at 13. Mr. Williamson at 14. Kyrie Irving 15. So those are the top 15 selling jerseys in the NBA. So look at Curry, man, so inspirational. So Curry's at the top of the list, as he should be. Raptors insider believes they will likely trade one of Fred VanVleet or Gary Trent Jr. I think this is very likely to happen. I think it's going to be Gary Trent. And I think it has to be. Scotty Barnes and Pascal can run the point, but in a Fred VanVleet trade, they'll get a point guard like Cole Anthony or Dyson Daniels, and depending on who they trade with. But I don't know if they can do that. I think it's got to be Gary Trent. Trading VanVleet would be wild. They gave Freddie a nice chunk of change unless they find a salary match, so I think it has to be Gary Trent Jr. if you're looking at the salary standpoint. It has to be Gary Trent because I don't think you can find a salary match for Fred VanVleet. Team personnel in Miami are intrigued by Cam Reddish. So apparently they're intrigued. Miami would make him the best version of himself. If he bought into, I feel like he could be the best version of himself because Miami develops players. Trade the second round pick already. But the Lakers and Heat are interested in everyone, it feels like. Shaquille O'Neal agrees Dwight Howard being in the Hall of Fame is questionable after matchup with Sim Bhullar. What's Shaq's issue with Dwight, man? No one questioned Shaq's Hall of Fame when he stuck it up for like 4 or 5 years at the end of his career. But Dwight goes overseas and he wants to basically hate. Report Anthony Davis is potentially a week away from returning for the Lakers. Hopefully he can stay healthy because he's been playing some of his best basketball this year before he got injured. But I just don't know if he can stay healthy. NBA.com's up to MVP ladder. They have Jokic at 1, Tatum at 2, Embiid at 3, Doncic at 4, Giannis at 5, Morant at 6, Kevin Durant at 7, Donovan Mitchell at 8, SGA 9, and Jaylen Brown 10. So that's their top 10 on the MVP ladder. Jokic definitely deserves to be number 1. He's been the best player in the NBA this year. People will say, oh, what about Embiid? But yes, he averages more points, but more points per game doesn't equal better player. Embiid's been efficient, but Jokic has been more efficient. Jokic could have easily put up 30 games if he wanted to, but he gets his teammates involved, nearly averaging a triple-double this year. So, Miami is not trying to deal Kyle Lowry, per FLA Sports Buzz, with the Heat playing a lot better, 13 wins in its past 19 games. Any thought of Miami breaking up its roster has gone from not totally inconceivable to unlikely. So not totally inconceivable is more or less than unlikely. But Kyle Lowry's just going to come off the bench. But Heat fans need to see the bigger picture of waiting until the offseason. But just because you're winning games doesn't mean you don't need to upgrade the roster. You're winning games right now, but you need to upgrade the roster. And the reason Team Miami's not dealing Kyle Lowry is because teams don't want him. So, I mean, it's just the truth. Nobody wants him. Yeah, I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So, until next match, peace.